when I saw that Lex was really trying to get to Summer at the reunion, it felt like, wow, like you really are trying to milk like some type of camera time.
You think that's what it is?
What do you think it is? What
Yo,
do you think it is? Because I just feel like, why?
You know what I felt like when Lex did that? I ain't gonna lie to you, because it's easy to say, okay, Lex is being annoying. She's being like kind of a bully. But I feel like in some like toxic fucking way.
She misses her?
She misses her.
It.
And that was the only way she was gonna get her attention.
Summer! Summer! Summer!
This the kind of beat to go, this the kind of beat to go, this the kind of beat to go, rock, top, top.
Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Welcome back to another episode of the Petty Headquarters. I'm your host, Tiana Locke, and this is
Jessie Strange.
And we are back at it again with another episode, y'all. And as you can see, we are back in the studio. Back to our regular program.
Thank God. It's been a long time. It does feel good to be back. Thank God you're here because, hello, the last time you weren't here, it was awkward.
And then, like, we did the Zoom.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, we are back at it again, y'all. And for those that are new, we are the Petty Pop Culture. The Petty Headquarters.
Yeah, we're the Petty Headquarters.
Period.
We cover things like reality TV, internet culture, celebrity culture, and baddies. And we are the Petty Posse. And
we the Petty Posse?
Well,
or are y'all the Petty Posse?
Y'all the Petty Posse, the Petty Crash Outs. So thank you guys for tuning in. The people that continue to support us, we appreciate y'all, even when there's hiccups, even when there's all of that, things that get in the way.
Right.
We appreciate y'all.
Yes. So without further ado, let's get into this week's dose of mess, y'all.
Yeah. So, let's just,
first of all, this reunion is trash.
Yo.
This reunion is bull's ass trash.
Trash.
This shit sucks.
Yeah. It was like kind of harsh watching it at the end because it was like, what are we watching? We definitely could have did without the last episode.
No, literally.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, the only part, in my opinion, that was a little intriguing was part 1.
Yeah, part 2 was good too.
Part 2 had its moments, but I just feel like part 3, oh my God, it's so disorganized, all over the place, no structure. I was over it.
Yeah, definitely no structure. The host did not have control of the girls. No. I don't even think production had control over the girls. Because, let's be real. DTB being drunk as long as she was out on the stage was really unnecessary and kind of like a lack of call from production. Because I feel like it was the same feeling we had when Krishan was drunk.
Talking the whole time.
Whole time. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that was a lot of the girls.
Right. Mm-hmm. So there was just no handling that. But let's take it back from the top, right? So we start off with DTB dragging Natalie by accident. All right. So this whole shit was crazy. So now DTB is slurring the entire time, talking about, that was it made for Natalie. Like, I don't even know why she always sounds like she's gargling in her throat. Like, it always sounds like, bitch, you gargle. You don't talk. You gargle at this point. So she's saying that wasn't meant for Natalie. No. Tank is talking about, you drunk, bro? You drunk, Diamond? You drunk? You drunk? Holding her face and everything. And I'm like, yo, this gets serious. Like, I'm just sitting here thinking this shit gets serious.
It's so funny because Scotty was laughing the entire time. Like, there was this one part where she just starts laughing because Natalie gets thrown onto the floor. But even the fact that Natalie got thrown to the floor as slow as she did.
Yeah, it was in slow motion. It was in slow motion. I was like, what the fuck? First of all, Natalie, this whole reunion kept trying to break up everyone's fight. Mm-hmm. I'm like, women, like, what is this? Like,
I know.
There's some extra liquid courage. You want to break up shit. Like,
100%. Liquid courage for sure.
Right. So now at this point, this whole thing with DTB is going on for a long time. Eventually, Tank removes her.
And you know what they said about DTB? That apparently people are speculating that it was more than just alcohol. And listen, I just want to comment on that because, like, at the end of the day, whether it was alcohol, whether it's other things, it really doesn't matter because it doesn't change the fact. The fact is the bitch was dumb on fucking stage. Like,
no, she really was.
I don't think, I don't really care to clock people. We all know these people do more than just
all types of shit. Like
you have to be in that environment.
Right. At this point, who cares? They doing all types of drugs. Like, I do not care. Right. All we know is that the shit wasn't regulated and Shorty was a mess. Like,
incoherent.
Yeah, incoherent.
Crazy.
That wasn't meant for Dolly. Like, girl, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Like, and that's another thing. I feel like DTB usually is such a great character, like in reunions. Mm-hmm. So for her to be drunk like that, it was kind of like, oh, you're on your off game,
She was definitely caught slipping.
Right, for sure. So it wasn't the same as when she's more like well aware.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So now Summer gets her little intro.
Yeah, we get that little slow-mo of Summer.
Slow-mo of Summer getting out the car. Mm-hmm. And it was funny because before they show her, I was like, yo, why they playing this extra music? Like, what's going on?
And it's
Summer come.
And it's crazy because up until that point, everyone was under the assumption that Summer wasn't coming.
That she wasn't going to come.
Yep. Yeah, so that was like a really nice surprise. But before, they just showed the slow-mo. They didn't even call her out yet.
They didn't even call her out yet.
Yeah,
I was like, wow.
At this point, Janisha calls out DJ Sky.
She does.
Okay, and as DJ Sky, before she can even come out, Mariah's screaming, I need that Sky. I need that Sky. Yeah. And Sky comes out in her Ramadan outfit.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. She representing?
Oh, okay.
That's the only thing I'm thinking. Like, you representing for the culture. It's Ramadan and you that's it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could think.
Because it's so funny because, like, I was thinking about how Mariah Lynn was like, this bitch... It's Ramadan and she's, what is it? She called her an unholy
dick-sucking bitch celebrating Ramadan. I was like, girl. Girl. But DJ Sky eventually gets called out and they doing some weird shit. But before DJ Sky and Mariah Lynn could even do whatever kickboxing thing they was doing in the air, Tommy just comes running out.
Yeah.
She just like,
yeah.
Like, why did you run out like that? Like, no one called her. She just came running out. Like, what the fuck, y'all?
Yeah, and God. As she's coming out looking stupid,
Lex immediately gets that.
Tosses her, bro.
Yep, immediately.
Handles that. And then as that's happening, Mariah Lynn and DJ Sky are kicking each other.
They're just kicking the air, bitch. I don't know what the fuck. They was just like, what kick you? I didn't know what the fuck was going on. If like I had to use fingers to describe this, right? It was like, this is the leg kicking. They like kicking and it was like.
They're playing patty cake with their feet.
But they wasn't touching each other.
Right.
It was just like, oh, you're going to kick, you're going to kick. And it was just like weird. It was fucking weird. I was like, what is going on right now?
Yeah, so fucking Lex also, by the way, after Lex beats up Tommy, I guess, they get broken up. Tommy's laughing.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
She's just laughing. Like, this shit is funny to her,
yeah,
bro.
She's just really wild. And in the middle of that, Kold Killa sneaks Tommy.
Mm-hmm,
so it was just a lot. Yes. So it was just a lot going on, yo. Mariah calling DJ Sky an unholy dick-sucking bitch, right? Celebrating Ramadan. She just starts going off because basically DJ Sky doesn't want to fight at this point.
Yeah.
She's calling her pussy, all of the things under the sun. DTB comes back and wants to keep fighting Fauna. I'm like, okay, you see what I mean now? You hear us talking about this and you can see where the lack of structure in this reunion is.
Yeah, it's like all over the place.
It's just all over the place. There's just nothing. There's no buildup. There's no nothing. There's not even barely any conversation. Like, I kind of like when reunion has a little bit of like equal conversation, but equal, amount of drama.
The second episode had conversation and dialogue, but like we said, like this episode, there was a lot of awkward silence throughout the times where it was almost like the host and production were just watching the girls to see what they would do. And it was like they were reaching for content. It was so weird.
Yeah.
It was like you were just usually, like we said, the audience doesn't get as much airtime as they did. And yet they did.
Right.
When these girls, like DTB's scene would have been cut out a lot more had there been better actions and better fights.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of what was left in this reunion would have been cut out had there been better storylines.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because we've had that. And this was just very lackluster. Yeah, you know, as you know, there's a bunch of shit going on. Tink puts on Tommy's coat. She starts playing with it. You know, after Kold Killa had ran up on Tommy, gave her a bloody nose.
Oh my God. So fucking vile.
Yeah, and then Mariah is trying to get DJ Sky to come fight her. She's not gonna fight her.
Right.
We already know. A lot of people say DJ Sky is scary. Yeah, she is. And you know, I mean, listen, a lot of these girls went in to the reunion to collect a check.
Right.
And it's like, why does DJ Sky be called scary and gets criticism, but Krishan could just sit there with her pacifier and her headphones and do absolutely nothing too for a check?
Because I guess everybody knows that Krishan could fight. That's really what it is.
Is it about fighting? No, because people be like, stand on it, right? Because everyone's mad that, oh, DJ Sky got Mariah jumped at her outing.
Yeah.
That she had. Yeah. But it's like, how many times has Krishan did fucked up shit and has not stood on it? Especially when it comes to Tasiki and, you know, her sister. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if Krishan could come in there for a free check, go sit there with her pacifier, talking about I turned a new leaf with her headphones on, I think it's fair that DJ Sky can also run around, pretend like she want to fight and not actually fight. Same thing the way Biggie does. All these girls are collecting checks and doing the minimal work.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, if that's what it is, that's what it is. But if you're going to criticize one, criticize all. Yeah. Don't pick and choose.
You're absolutely right. I don't even want to figure out what the difference is as to why people criticize Krishan, you know, as opposed to DJ Sky, or I don't even care. I'm over it. So they fight, right? It takes them forever to square up.
Who, Mariah
and DJ Sky?
Yeah, eventually DJ Sky comes to the front with Mariah, and you know, they pretend like they're gonna fight. You could tell DJ Sky's playing strategy. Like it's all pretending, running away.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's funny because at some point the crowd is chanting, DJ Sky, DJ Sky.
That shit was so random.
Ain't nothing happening from that.
Yeah, nothing. I was like, what's going on? Mm-hmm. So we all know a lot of the girls are there to collect checks. So that's already said and done. But now we get to the part that clearly everyone was hyped to see. So now Summer gets called out, and the crowd goes motherfucking nuts.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Saucy is jumping up and down like everybody's hyped. People are shocked. Big Lex is rolling her eyes, and I'm just like, this is very interesting. But yet Kold Killa won MVP? Like, I just don't understand how you won MVP.
Yeah, the whole crowd was hyped to hear Summer's name. I mean, let's be real. Summer turned that shit up.
She did.
Because it's like, I will say, I got to give it to Summer. You got to have some fucking balls to walk into the wolf's den, because when I tell you she went in there knowing damn well all them people are against her, all those enemies, a mad bitches is gonna ready to fight her. And she went in there talking about still pretty, my mama. Coming through the crowd like she a boxer.
Yeah.
Like she ready to fight.
Literally came through the crowd. And Rolly's talking about how she wants to fight Summer, which I found so weak. I'm not even gonna hold you. I found it a little weak, but at the end of the day, baddies is baddies. Summer was talking a lot of shit, so that is fair. But also, Rolly had a fucking hole in her arm.
Yeah.
Like, sit down. You know what I mean? Like, chill out. Like, why do you want to fight? You just had your wound in your arm open up. You were bleeding out. Why do you want to fight?
She walked up to Summer immediately as soon as Summer came in. And it was
Summer handled that. Summer handled that. I don't care.
She did.
She handled that.
She handled it.
She handled that.
That's for sure.
Rolly really thought she was going to go in and eat. Summer handled it. Summer just did not stop punching. And it was not stop. Yeah. It was not stop face shots. Okay?
And as that's happening, right, you see in the back, Kold Killa and Bad Dolly, they're arguing.
Yo.
So they're arguing as Rolly and Summer are kind of arguing, still going back and forth. Dolly sees an opening for Summer and she jets towards her and sneaks her.
Yo, that shit was crazy. Her sneaking her, like Summer didn't even know who it was.
Yeah.
Summer was like, who the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Who was that? And I'm like, wow, that is crazy. So now Dolly and Summer at this point, they're arguing. They're going back and forth. And is this where we hear Lex yelling Summer's name the whole time? Summer! Her big ass mouth. Summer! Like,
the whole time.
I was so fucking over it. Like, I was like, okay, this reunion is already pissing me off. It's already not structured. It's already like all over the place. Y'all clearly are like trying to pull any type of content y'all trying to get out of this, and it's not working. And then you have Summer coming out. Okay, we have a little bit of that, right? But then you got Lex. It's just a lot going on. Then Lex just wouldn't stop yelling her name.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, Lex, what makes you think Summer's actually going to give you the time of the day?
Yeah, that's kind of what it was. She was like begging for her attention.
It was giving that, right? Like, it felt like that. Like, you're begging for her attention.
Yeah. Some people I saw in the comments are like, is that what Lex sounded like when she was getting her?
Oh, no.
I've seen it in the comments, all right?
Who the fuck would say it? Summer! How do you sound like that?
He said she was having too much fun saying her name.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Literally, I was like, why are you... I felt like I was going, like, I don't know. I was getting so irritated hearing it over and over.
Yeah, it was really loud.
It was... It was. I was like, damn, bitch, you not tired of saying her name?
And it's so funny because like Summer had gotten into fights 3 different times that made her change her shirt. This poor girl literally had to change her shirt 3 times because they each and every time got ripped the hell up.
Yo,
which is crazy. But yeah, so then Rolly, they keep arguing on stage and Rolly keeps telling Summer to run up.
Yeah. Which is weird because Rolly, you got up immediately wanting to fight her. So why don't you run up?
Exactly. And Rolly just goes on this whole rant about how she was there for Summer all season and Summer got in the confessionals and was disrespectful, talking mad shit. And it was so funny because, you know, Rolly's really just talking about how she feels. Why Summer said, Rolly, let me tell you something. First of all, I want to start off by saying, you're a fat ass bitch.
Bro, that had me weak when she said, first of all, you was a fat ass bitch. I really expected something genuine.
Nah, everybody did.
Literally everybody expected a genuine conversation and a genuine response. And Summer trolled the fuck out of her. Talking about, I just want to say, first of all, you was a fat ass bitch. Like, bro, we were cracking the fuck up when we watched that. Bro, the whole audience in the show was cracking up.
The whole audience was dying.
That was the first time we heard genuine laughter.
Yo,
like, no, literally.
I have it here. We have to watch it.
No, we do.
What did I do to you? What did I do to you? First of all, I want to start off by saying, you a fat ass bitch. You a fat ass.
Like, that is crazy. We really thought you was going to say some real shit. We was going to get conversation. We got absolutely nothing. You just got trolled the fuck out by fucking Summer.
Yo, and then Rolly obviously gets tight, and at that point, she runs up on Summer again.
Yeah, but Summer handles that again.
Yeah, they don't go nowhere. But then at this point, Dolly ends up jumping in too, you know, fighting Summer. And Summer's over it. At this point, she's like, I'm not fighting them. No, I'm not fighting Dolly specifically. I'm not fighting her no more. You can start to see her getting fed up and eventually starting to walk out.
Yeah. And then Tommy runs up to her. I don't know what the fuck was going on.
With her bloody nose.
With her bloody nose on some
Just like, checking in on her.
Yes. And then after that, Tommy leaves, right? But she gets into something with one of the fucking producers and security.
Yeah, something like that. So Summer's leaving. Lex tries to stop her.
Which is crazy. I'm not even going to lie. When I saw that Lex was really trying to get to Summer at the reunion, it felt like, wow, like, you really are trying to milk like some type of camera time.
You think that's what it is?
What do you think it is? What
Yo,
do you think it is? Because I just feel like, why?
You know what I felt like when Lex did that? I ain't gonna lie to you, because it's easy to say, okay, Lex is being annoying. She's being like kind of a bully. But I feel like in some like toxic fucking way.
She misses her?
She misses her.
It.
And that was the only way she was gonna get her attention.
Summer! I was so over it. And then her mouth is huge.
Yeah.
Summer!
It was pretty big.
Bitch, what? With her big ass teeth too. Like, I'm like, damn, yo. It's some toxic way, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
some
I
sick
could
toxic
see
way.
that. However, I just feel like considering how they went out, considering how the friendship ended, considering how that was the main point in the show.
Yeah.
That was like your boiling point, and Summer was talking shit. You heard the shit she was talking.
Yeah.
The shit that she was talking didn't change from when it was in front of you, right? And you got that. You got that on the show. You did her bad. It should have been done after that.
Right. That's why I feel like it's more so I want your attention because this is the only time I'm ever going to see you. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just me, though.
Is that something you would do? That's something you would do?
No. Let's focus. Get out of here.
That's what you would do?
No. Get out of here. So Saucy says Tommy need to come back out because she need to get her leg back. But Tommy never comes back out. She actually walks out. She hits the cameraman, I think twice.
Yeah, she hits the camera. Tommy's infamous for doing that. She's always punching cameras, messing up equipment. I'm like, y'all need to like keep it far from her because her punching the camera would have took me the fuck out. Like, that's crazy.
And Lex is like chasing her in the back, yelling at her for leaving.
Yep.
Telling her that she's a fake, crazy person.
Yeah.
And that she don't stand on business.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much that ends, like, that's what happens with that. And then back on stage, Bad Dolly runs up out of nowhere at Kold Killa.
Again.
They fight again.
Yeah.
And at this point, it's starting to feel a little dragged, right?
Yeah, like everything is feeling dragged. Like, there's nothing here. Like, it's what are y'all fighting for?
Yeah.
At this point.
Exactly.
At some point, the beef with Fauna and Tavy get brought up now. So Ari gets her little time where they're asking her, like, what was the beef with Fauna and Tavy?
Oh, yeah. Saucy asks her.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So he asks her, what's the beef with Tavy and Fauna? And Ari's saying a lot of nothing. She's just talking in circles, talking about, well, the beef with them is this, that, and the third. But then Tavy gets up and she says, no, well, my beef with you was how she was like protecting Fauna. And she felt like DJ Ari was trying to constantly come in between their friendship.
I'm not gonna lie. I watched this episode 3 times. The first time with you, the second time I took notes, and the third time I took screenshots for this episode. And because the first time I didn't really understand what the fuck was going on. I didn't even know this was a thing.
Right.
Okay. I didn't even know that Ari and Fauna was a thing. I had no idea.
I was saying that I saw online that people were saying that DJ Ari and Fauna had like a thing.
Yeah. And that was the only time I heard about that was through you. So when I was listening to this again, basically Ari says that she had a problem with Tavy because Tavy had used her name when Fauna and Tavy were fighting. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Okay, so I wanted to hear Tavy's side because I didn't understand why Tavy would
bring up her name.
And Tavy describes this moment. She said, I've had a problem with you because me and Fauna, we fight. And when we fight, we still go out to the club together and we still standing next to each other, even when we fight. And when we were next to each other, you came up in between and was like, and she kind of just did a movement. And that was literally the reason. And then I thought about what you said initially, like, she's just mad that Ari was basically flirting with Fauna.
That's
because
it.
I'm like, that's the reason. At first,
it.
I didn't understand it. And I thought you were dragging it. I'm like, let me see. No, that's the reason why.
Yeah, no, literally.
It's so weird.
And that's why I didn't give a fuck about what they were talking about. Because in my mind, based off of what I'm seeing in body language and the way Ari was even, trying to act like Oh, even when they asked her the question, did y'all have a thing? Her face said it all. Like, y'all had a thing.
Yo, her
like,
face.
She really was trying. She can't lie for the life of her.
Cannot lie.
I was like, your face said it all. You and Fauna Def had a thing. And again, that was one of the things where I was like, this is why Tavy's upset. Because her and Fauna probably got something going on. And then, of course, they're not exclusive, right? So Fauna gonna do whatever the fuck she want. So Fauna probably thought Ari was cute and they was talking or whatever, and Tavy got mad.
I know for a fact, though, like, Fauna must have been tight the way Ari handled that, because she was, first of all, Fauna's poker face, very good. She can really deny something. If Ari had not been there, it would be like, okay, you wouldn't really know.
No, you wouldn't know.
For sure. Because Fauna was just like, yeah, we friends. Or like, she was so over Ari.
Right.
Because Ari was trying to be cute.
She was. She was.
Like,
and I noticed that. Like, Fauna was not really.
Not with it.
She seemed like a very private person. She don't want nobody in her business. So that's why she got so mad when Tavy was like, I can show you the messages.
Yo.
Give me my phone. I can show you the messages. I'm like.
She was screaming from the heart.
Fauna got so mad when Tavy said that. Yo.
So I love how between this exchange, there was a moment where Tavy walks back towards, the side where Lex was, and Tavy was like, went to Lex and was like, when I'm fighting or something like that, you should be having my back.
I did notice that.
And then she was like, what do you mean, me? She's like, yeah, you. And she's like, I did. I made sure they didn't jump you. And then Rolly was like, yeah, she made sure you didn't get jumped. And I thought that was funny. I was like, it's so funny and weird how like toxic these relationships are between the girls, because it's like Tavy and Lex fought so many times. Tavy got beat up by Lex, and now we see a little scene where literally Tavy's like, yeah, you gotta have my back when we're not fighting. I'm like, what is this shit, yo?
Trauma bonding, yo. It's that weird trauma bond, because I was like, when did y'all become cool? Like, I'm so confused off that. So confused. So now we get to the other little transition of this reunion where Killa and Dolly, again, are going back and forth. And now Killa at some point says that Dolly stole Summer's whole personality. You could tell this fucking pissed Dolly the fuck off. Like, that shit irked her, because it really hit a nerve. It hit a nerve.
Yeah, no, 100%. Because she started explaining herself like
she did. And normally she don't.
Yeah, she's like, you could look at my old videos. I always act like this. You blah blah blah.
It triggered the fuck out of her.
I'm like, look at her explaining herself.
I know. I was like, damn.
Yeah, no, for real. But also, this was after the fact that they called Smiley out, bitch.
Nobody cared about motherfucking Smiley coming out.
Why?
Nobody cared about her coming out.
You know what the worst part about this whole thing about, like, first of all, whose choice was it to leave Smiley for the very end?
Right.
No one. First of all, I forgot about Smiley.
Me too.
And the worst part about this is that she had a powerful message on her outfit, but it was so lackluster because it was at the end, her outfit said fuck ICE, and that's a strong opinion towards her, and I get that. That's awesome. That's a great message, but no one cared.
Right. She should have been one of the first to come out.
And the audience was so quiet when she came out.
It was so awkward. I was like, damn, it's mad quiet. Crickets, bitch. Crickets. I was like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she should have been one of the first to come out. I don't know why she came out last. Like,
so it's funny because at this point, Janisha tries to like interrupt Kold Killa and Bad Dolly from like arguing, a few people arguing, and she's like trying to ask Tasiki. She's like, oh, I'm gonna be messy. Tasiki basically wants to ask who's the heaviest hitter, but before she can even ask that, Kold Killa starts yelling and like arguing with Tavy. And then they start arguing, whatever. And I
feel like I'm losing brain cells recapping this. This reunion, I feel like I'm losing brain cells. Like, it's just, it's not even making any sense. Like, it's just all over the place. It's just, this person's arguing, this person's fighting. It's not even, I feel like there's no real beef here. Remember what we spoke about? What we thought this was going to be like?
Yeah.
And that's what it is. There's no real beef.
Right.
That's where they're like squeezing out their ass for content.
Right.
There's no fucking content. Like, even us talking about it, I'm hearing it and I'm like, there's nothing here. There's literally nothing to salvage for me to be like, oh, nothing.
Well, the exchange that we got there was that K. Rican said that Tavy wanted to eat her pussy.
That was the only thing where I was like, new information.
And Kold Killa's like, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
True.
And then Tavy's like,
true.
when?
That's true.
When? And then she's like, in Africa, ho.
I believe that. I don't know why I feel like Tavy lying. I believe that she was trying to like kick it to K. Rican. Like, girl, the way you was daggering Janelle, nobody could tell me any different.
Right.
Nobody could tell me any different.
And now K. Rican and Tavy are arguing. They look crazy.
Santana brings up the whole thing again with what Janisha was trying to do. So Santana brings it back to Lex and Tasiki, who the heaviest hitter. Like, stop playing, right? Tasiki says her and Lex are cool. And, people don't really know about their relationship and how Lex supports her, comments on her stuff, hits her up, and like they talk and they cool with each other.
And so that's when like Saucy says, oh, so that's why when Biggie fought Lex, y'all hugged. and then Tasiki goes, we hugged each other. Like, what are you talking
that
about?
blew me. When she said we hugged each other, I was like, Tasiki, you are running from accountability. You are sprinting away from the accountability, which is why Janisha was like, do you see how Biggie can feel hurt by that? Do you understand why Biggie felt the way she felt?
And was so funny because then out of nowhere, Biggie's fucking voice, oh, Tasiki, that's not your friend. That's not your friend.
Yo, Biggie really interrupted that shit.
Yeah, out of nowhere. I'm like,
out of nowhere.
Yeah.
She was in the audience again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she interrupts that shit and I'm like, oh God. So now it's just a whole shit show. Yeah. Everybody's just arguing over everybody.
Because Lex says that Biggie starts problems and never stands on it. Yeah. And I want to ask you a question because I saw somebody had wrote this on Instagram. I think it might have been that there's a take where Big Lex wasn't understanding why she was getting the backlash she got for having beef with Biggie and slapping Biggie because she did get some pushback for that. Yeah. And they say that Lex is a hypocrite because when she came in to Baddies, her first reason for fighting Jayla was because Jayla was a bully and was fighting people like Biggie who couldn't fight. And now here we are many seasons later where Lex is quote unquote doing the same thing that Jayla was doing.
What's your question?
Is that a good point? Like, is that valid? Like, you know what I mean? I think it's valid, but I feel like Biggie also makes her bed. You know what I mean? So it's like,
that's the part that's hard. That, like, I feel like I'm with you on that too, where I'm in the middle because yes, we know Biggie, she doesn't fight. We know that. However, just because you don't fight, that doesn't exempt you from getting hit when you talk shit. Right. So that's the part that's like hard because Biggie really does do it to herself a lot of the times. Yeah. Like, her arguing with Lex over a blunt, like her leaking conversations between like Lex and Natalie. Why? Yeah. I get it. It is a part of your job to be messy because you are on a show that's messy, but
there's consequences.
Yes. And that's also what comes with the show. Mm-hmm. So,
and that's what Biggie was saying, that Lex isn't known for her music, that she is only known because she's pretty and she's a fighter.
That is what she said.
And I was like, that's kind of a valid point.
That is valid.
That is kind of a valid point. Biggie's respected for her performances, her personality,
her music, her performances. Like, Biggie lit.
Yeah.
Biggie lit.
So, I mean, Biggie does got that, but also Lex's response to that was, you need constant validation.
And she's right.
She's absolutely right. Bro, she called that. She clocked that.
She
I was like,
she ate with that. I was like, what a read.
What a read. Mind you, Lex is younger than Biggie. So for Lex to really clock, Lex has always been very mature for her age. That's for sure.
For sure. She's always been more like aware emotionally,
Yeah.
which is crazy to see. Like, and that's the thing. I feel like both of them are not wrong.
Yeah.
But there are still consequences to both of their actions. Yeah. So that's really where I'm at with their whole situation.
And I laughed because Biggie called her a fake lesbian.
Yo, bro, that was so funny.
It just reminds me of like the allegations.
No, let me stop.
It just reminds me of the allegations of the possibility of her sleeping with Lemmy at some point. You know what I mean? I'm like, what does fake lesbian mean?
You're right.
Those are allegations.
And maybe that's why Biggie says that, because oh my gosh.
Tea.
Too much. It's too much tea.
That network is messy.
Oh my God. Everybody fucking everybody. Or everybody fucking Lemmy. Sheesh. Shit is insane. So now Janisha tries to give an axe for final thoughts. Bro, this was so terrible.
Oh,
this was terribly
you missed it. Hold on.
What happened? Because I missed the whole chunk of the end.
All right. So Janisha, then she asked Jayla about how she felt.
Yes, I forgot about that.
About where Natalie and her stand.
Yeah.
And Jayla goes on to explain kind of how, she's friends with both Scotty and Natalie, and how she stands neutral, and how her and Natalie have an understanding, and so does her and Scotty. What I thought was weird, though, was when Janisha's like, she asked Natalie, do you think Jayla's a good friend? And Natalie hesitates a little bit, and with weird energy, she's like, she's a good friend. And I don't know if she was necessarily just tired, or if she's being sarcastic, because even Jayla is like, no, say the truth. If it's not the truth, say the truth.
Yeah, she did.
Natalie was like, no, that's the truth. So Jayla's like, okay, and left it at that.
Yeah.
But I thought that exchange was a little weird.
Yeah.
And then, this whole scene gets awkward again, where
it was super awkward.
Yeah, it gets a little quiet. And then that's when Janisha asked Jayla about Janelle. But the problem wasn't with Janelle, it was with Persuasion.
No, but that's when Rolly was saying there's stuff that we don't see that's not on camera.
That's right. And that was this whole weird part where you hear Rolly and Janelle talking about, Janelle's like, well, I wasn't on the clock. I wasn't working. And then Rolly's like, well, yeah, you were on this date and this date. And it's literally all this talk that makes no sense, because either way,
see it.
And not only did we not see it, we don't care.
Right.
Janelle isn't adding any value to this reunion. Even if it was something we saw.
Right.
So it's like this whole weird, I feel like this scene 100% would have been cut out had there been a great, dialogue to fill in that gap. Right, I just feel like this is all fluff to make up that 42 minutes we just spent our lives watching.
Here's the thing. If someone from Zeus is watching this, take note. On your reunion, the least problematic girls need to come out first. Get that shit over with. Have that dialogue over with. And little by little, you bring out the most problematic based off of beef.
Exactly. And that's all you're getting. Because if you want more tips and tricks, you can hit her up on her personal email, because, she can help you out.
They just don't know how to build a good story, man, or structure the scenes, or like build the tension. Like, I feel like it fell flat so many times.
Imagine in a world where they hired you like as a producer, like that'd be freaking crazy, because then we can't talk about nothing.
Storylines would be getting better though. That'd be so bad. No, that'd be so bad.
Yeah. So
I feel like you gotta be like you really have to dissociate when you work in reality TV.
100%.
And I just don't know how I would detach from like my emotions. But
Jayla gets tired, and she's like, I'm getting tired of this shit. And then Tink out of nowhere runs and sneaks K-Reekin. Mm-hmm. They fight. They look so stupid and crazy.
Yo, that whole shit with Tink and K-Reekin? Yo, we could fucking forget about that. Y'all could keep that, because what was that? Why did we need to see that? Why was this even here? This was so stupid. I'm like, y'all, this is where I'm like, wow, y'all really milking something.
Milking it.
Like, did someone tell her in her ear, hey, go start beef or some shit so we can end this with a bang? Like, what the fuck? Like, it was like y'all milking content because it's not happening. And it's awkward as fuck.
To the point where Tink spits on K-Rican.
It's like you're doing the most. Like you want an actual reaction because what was really that deep? What was really that deep?
I remember when Baddies, there would be like things that you would be ashamed of doing. Like there would be the few girls that did disrespectful shit, like Gretchen. It was Krishan. There would be bitches that spit, but it would always be like, oh, you're disgusting.
Yeah.
I feel like the later on we've gotten where Dolly is like throwing shit.
Yeah, Dolly and
Summer.
And
you have, all this shit that happens. It kind of like now these girls just do whatever and they don't care. Bear mace, no problem. BB gun, no problem. Spitting, no problem.
Terrible.
Biting you, no problem. Losing a tooth, no problem. Getting punched in the mouth and having some lip reconstruction, no problem. Bleeding from a hole in my arm, no problem. Like it's crazy. It's really crazy. Like, oh, I got glass in my foot, no problem.
Yo, like
got a bag though. Got a bag.
Yeah.
It's so crazy how like we've gotten to the point. Listen, we've been covering this for a couple of years now, and we've seen it, and it was existing a little bit before we even started covering it. So to see where it is now and how crazier and crazier and crazier the violence gets, and how desensitized and normal it becomes in these environments is exactly the issue that a lot of the community has with Zeus Network and the representation it has. Which is a good conversation to have because we know Jocelyn Hernandez has dropped a few allegations, which we will be getting into on another episode. Right.
So everything you said was valid. And going back to the Jocelyn Hernandez allegation, boy, oh boy, she dropped some motherfucking bombs that allegedly Lemmy, or aka Zeus Network, is trying to kill her. So, it takes a lot for Jocelyn to cry like that. So I don't know what's the truth. I don't know nothing. But we will be covering this in another episode, y'all. So stay tuned for that. We've seen the receipts. We've seen it all over. We've seen even the posts before certain posts were deleted. Okay? So we got y'all. Going back to the reunion, I mean, Janisha barely gets to ask final thoughts. Only like 2 people give their final thoughts. Big Lex and so-and-so.
Big Legs, Dolly, Krishan, and I think that's it.
That's it, right? And
Tink.
Yes, and it was a shit show. It was a very disorganized, chaotic fest of final thoughts. And then Janisha just, okay, bye. And everybody's bye. And then they kind of just, the producer comes on the stage like, okay, you guys gotta go to the audience.
She's like, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay. Like literally escorting and rushing people out. And I'm like.
Yeah, it just leaves you feeling
like that.
Okay.
Like, what did I just watch? Like, not a good way to end a reunion. So, yeah, this reunion was trash.
Trash. The worst one.
The worst one, in my opinion.
I don't know. That one and close the ones with Krishan being a fucking drunk mess. Yes,
those two. They're like neck and neck.
They are. Because it's the same thing where the bitches are so drunk, it's like
can't get a hold of them. Can't handle them.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And I'm not gonna lie, like, I mean, whatever. You know what? To each his own. But I find it interesting that there are girls that could show up to the reunion and not have to work. And I just say that because not that I am condoning the violence per se, but I just feel like when I show up at work, I have to show up most of the time, especially like on a big day, as my best version. And I feel like, a lot of these girls, especially like someone like Krishan, can just show up and just look and suck her pacifier the whole time and still claim her check. And I think that's interesting. I mean, hey, if that's what Zeus Network allows, that's what they allow. But I'm just saying I find that interesting because it's like, I mean, they're not really doing nothing to get that bag, but I guess like, whatever. I guess it just doesn't make the reunion as interesting when you have all these people playing their part. You know what I mean? It just feels lackluster. And I don't know if that contributes to the reason why this reunion was that, or if it's the just fabricated, beefs that they had.
Yeah, I think it's just a combination of everything. Like you have the women there that are just taking up space that don't need to be there. Correct. Right? Because then you have the BGC girls. They really weren't into anything. So why are they there? But of course they were on the show, so they're going to collect a check, right? Krishan. again, same situation, right? There was really nothing there, but she's there collecting a check, right? Smiley, again, we forgot about her.
Gretchen,
right? You know, and she could have done something. Right, pregnant. Like, why are you there? Right. Like there is a lot. There's a lot.
A lot of girls that are just sitting there.
And I think that's really what it is, where they kind of had to have these fabricated, forced beefs, or some of, not all of them were fabricated, but a lot of them just felt forced. And there was really nothing to it. Like, we already saw you handle the
same people fighting that were fighting the whole season.
And that's the thing. Like, the point of the reunion is to really settle your shit that you didn't get to settle when you were on the show. That's why when Tasiki and ET finally fought that reunion, Baddies East, that shit was lit. Because you really had people really settling their beefs and confronting shit that they didn't confront on the show. Mm-hmm. That's what made it so good, right? And that was some real shit. Okay? Now, it's just not the same. I don't know what's going on. People getting lazy, people getting comfortable, you know, and it's the same thing with Biggie, right? Doesn't want to do anything, but knows the type of platform she's on. So it's a little complicated.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little
complicated.
It is. I don't know what needs to change, but I feel like
I think they just need to recycle the girls.
Yeah, new girls. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I guess, I mean, apparently Tasiki this season is going up, and I'm very interested to see how that friendship between Biggie and Tasiki plays out. Oh my God. Because there has been back and forth, like Biggie threatening to sue Tasiki.
Yeah, Tasiki saying, put your paws up and square up. I'm like, oh my God, why would you say that to a girl you were friends with?
Because I feel like the way Tasiki defended Mariah and Anna is not the same way she defends Biggie.
No.
There's always an excuse when it comes to Biggie.
Always an excuse. Mm-hmm. And now you just saying, put your paws up? Like, what? Nah. Biggie has every right to feel how she feels. I'm sorry.
Right. And
because no one's saying, sorry to cut you off, but no one's saying that Tasiki should fight for Biggie. That was not what Biggie was saying. Biggie is mad that you hugged Lex after Lex hit me.
Because
that's it.
Tasiki doesn't know how to be neutral.
Right.
And that's really what it is. And then take accountability for it.
Right. She did not take accountability at all. Talking about we hugged each other. Girl.
Yo, that's crazy.
Girl, it takes two.
Right.
To do a hug, bitch. You did your part, and you didn't need to do your part.
And then acted like she ain't do nothing. Mad confused.
Acting like you, what are you, the hug each other is supposed to cancel out the fact that you still hugged her? You still hugged her.
Right.
So what does it matter if you hugged each other? You still hugged her.
Right.
It doesn't matter who hugged who first. Mm-hmm. You accepted the hug.
Right.
That's the point. Like, that's really what we're talking about here.
And I wonder, right? You see, and this is a good conversation right here. If we see that Tasiki can't take accountability for something small like that, and that was a very small thing that we all saw on stage, what does that mean? What does Tasiki, you know what I mean? What does that tell us about Tasiki not being able to take accountability in other problems that we've seen her in, especially with her and her sister? Food for thought. I'm not accusing or saying anything. I'm just saying that, you know, your behaviors don't just turn off. Those are her real qualities, especially in those environments when you are at your rawest, in your survival mode. So if you cannot take accountability in those moments and you're still dragging it out for this show as of recording, what does that say about Tasiki being able to take accountability, period?
Right.
For something that small.
Yeah, like a hug.
That was small.
Like a hug.
So imagine the things that she's been accused of by her little sister or like other people that, like I said, I don't know. I'm just saying it's a food for thought. Like, you know, you lying about something small, how can I expect you to take up accountability for something even bigger?
I guess we'll never know.
Let us know what you guys think.
Right.
Down in the comments below on everything we had to say today. What did you think about this reunion? Did you think that it was lackluster? Did you enjoy it? I know a lot of people thought that there were funny moments, which was, I guess, you know, giving it a little little credit. But let us know what you guys thought about everything we said here. Did we miss anything? You know, let us know where you're from. Don't forget to check out our other stuff on Patreon. It's exclusive content there. And yeah.
Yes,
any final thoughts?
I mean, that's pretty much it. Everything you said. Definitely comment your thoughts. Let us know where you are from in the comments. We like to see where you guys are from. Thank you for being a part of the Petty Posse and the Petty Crash Outs. Definitely join the Petty Insiders on Patreon. And with that being said, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram. That's JESSI.strange. And where can they find you, Tiana?
You guys can find me on Instagram at its.tianalock. You guys can find us on Instagram at The Petty Headquarters. You guys can find us on YouTube at The Petty Headquarters. And you left me hanging again.
Sorry.
Okay. Do your part. Anyhow, so you guys can find us on all podcast platforms and Patreon at The Petty Headquarters. All right, y'all. With that being said, this was your weekly dose of mess.